My name is Sarah Gunner. I am a second grade CTT teacher. This is my first year teaching, so I've only been teaching since September. The workshop happened before I went into the classroom, and it really was eye-opening to start thinking about, I had been thinking about, but really concretely sit down and begin thinking about ways to really build relationships with students that I had never met from a completely different background than myself. I'm from upstate New York, and I'm teaching in Brooklyn, and it really helped me to sort of think about how can I really build respect and how can I get trust from these students that have never seen me, don't know who I am, don't know my story, and shouldn't have to just automatically trust me or respect me because I'm standing in front of them. And a big concern of mine before beginning was connecting, and there's a lot of fears as a first year teacher, but mine really dealt a lot with just being successful and reaching them because they need to be reached, especially in a special education classroom where I work. So the pyramid that you guys use in the book has been really helpful to me because I think the modeling, which is the core of that pyramid, is essential, especially for lower level learners, because if they see you acting in the right manner, then they're gonna say, oh, then I should act in this right manner. If they see you not being a hypocrite, they're gonna say, oh, I can trust this person. If they see you giving them respect, they're gonna give it back to you because you care about them and you're showing that through every action you have. And we use modeling in my classroom a lot with just participation and sharing, and when they see it done, it's like manipulatives in math, then they get it. And then from that, I think everything grows. If you're able to model and be and respect who you are, then you can respect who they are, and they'll learn to respect who they are. And if you can listen to them and hear them, and really hear them, not like what you guys said with the listening to fix or the not even listening at all, but the listening just to listen is eye-opening. Because I listen to my students on field trips and on buses, and they tell me these stories about their lives, and I think, wow, these kids have lives that I have never thought of. This kid is a lot more than I ever thought. This kid has so many more strengths or needs help here. And if I didn't listen and just listen, then I would not know that. A student of mine just told me about how his grandfather died. And we were sitting on the bus, and I showed him a ring that my grandfather had given me that I wear. And I said, my grandfather gave this to me, and he's always with me. And he just opened up. And this kid had been giving me a lot of problems with talking back. And that was the first step, really, that we took to being more than just me telling him what to do and him not saying no. It was more, I now understand him and his pain, and he understands that I just want to hear what he has to say with nothing else, nothing attached. And that was a big step for us as a teacher and student. It was one of my big successes so far this year, I think. Before you go into teaching, you think, oh, I'm never going to be, I don't want to yell. I'm not a yeller as a person. You know, people don't take me seriously when I yell anyways. But, and then you get in there and you see these things, and sometimes your first reaction, especially as a first year teacher, is like, what are you doing? So I've been really trying to focus on, this is not about me. This is not anything to do with me. I cannot react like this. That's all anyone does to these kids. I need to be the water so that it's a true reflection of what they need, and I need to stop and listen. Like, that is hard when you're in the middle of a situation and there's 20 kids and one of them is on the floor pounding his head against the wall, and you just want to say, stop, you're hurting yourself, and that's not making it better. So I've been trying to work on that a lot. It was rough. You know, you have all these graphs of first year teachers, and like, you start out elated and then you realize what you're in for, and it's this like drop, and then it picks up. And I'm a fellow, so I don't have any formal training as of until right now. So it's a career change for me. I was living abroad and working with a university, and it was kind of a shock. I knew these kids were going to be needy. I've worked with special education a lot in the past. My father's the principal at elementary school, but being the teacher and being the one who they look to and being the one in charge was a little overwhelming at first. And I had a couple bad weeks, but you know, you push through it, and there's always something that makes you smile. There's always a kid that's able to make you smile. Every day something happens, and that's happening more and more now. And I feel like these kids my classroom is becoming so much more of a community, and I feel like every day more hopeful and more optimistic. Even when I have a bad day, I go home and I think, okay, well, what can we do now to move forward? And you guys talk a lot about the mission statement. And I was watching a church sermon online, and it was a little boy, and he was saying this statement about how he can be anything he wants. And it was addressed to a room full of teachers, of educators. And I copied that down, and we have a chart of it in my classroom, and every morning we say this pledge, and it's just about, do you believe in me? Because I believe in me. So every morning we say that, and every morning I say, I have a co-teacher, and I say, Ms. Jones and I, we believe in you. Do you believe in us? And they say, yeah. And I say, all right, we're gonna have a good day. And that's sort of helps set the day up. Yeah, there have been tears and anger and, laughter, and I'm a perfectionist, and I expect a lot from myself as a person, and I'm very in control of me. And not having control, being the one who has the least control. I mean, the kids really are the ones in control of the mood and the tone, and I can influence that, but a kid makes a choice to throw a chair, or a kid makes a choice, and I can't control that choice. So that's been a life lesson for me that I'm slowly learning to sort of give it up and let it go and be more of a person who just takes it in. My kids know, honesty, and my personal mottos and my mission statement, which is also discussed in the book, is honesty and kindness, and that's something my dad is his motto, and I've sort of adopted it. And you just have to try, because they deserve it. They deserve someone to tell them the truth and to be kind while they do it. I don't think that sugarcoating things and lying helps ever, even if it's tough. So I'm lucky to be in this school too. There's a lot of fellows in my cohort who are in schools all throughout the city. I think it's just in New York City, the Department of Ed is so vast, and there's so many different types of children that need services, and I think there's a lot of problems, and there's a lot of good things. I think it's something that just comes with a big district. But this school has mentors for me. I meet with 2 mentors every day. I know I can go to the assistant principal. She's giving me great ideas. My co-teacher is giving me great ideas. The grade leader is giving me great ideas. The building is bright. The building is colorful. It's not falling down. And that makes a huge difference to the kids, to see that someone cares enough to paint the building and to vacuum the floors every day. So I've been really lucky. And this is, this neighborhood is tough. And there are schools in this neighborhood that are not like this. And this is a place for these kids to get away from that. I have kids whose fathers are in jail, whose parents are doing drugs. I have a kid with 6 foster children, all of whom have been taken in and are receiving services for special education. And this is a place where they can come where it's not so dark. And hopefully I can help it be a little lighter. I'm trying. We all try. It's a building-wide thing.